$100 into $100,000. Guys, it is completely possible and 100% doable to turn $100 into $100,000. Now, I turned $300 into $100,000 my first year in wholesaling real estate. And knowing what I knew now, I could easily have just used probably $5, maybe even $10 and just changed my life forever and done the same exact things with $100. So in this video, I really want to share exactly how you can turn that $100 into $100,000 for you to have the best success in your wholesaling real estate business. But before I break it down, do me a big favor, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and let's break it down. So my story, kind of like I said in the beginning, I spent about $300 in bandit signs at 17 years old, got my first deal, made $20,000, and then basically by the time I graduated high school, made $100,000 in assignment fees, all through the power of wholesaling real estate. Guys, wholesaling real estate is the key to financial freedom. You find somebody that wants to sell their ugly looking house, you put the property under contract, bring that to a title company, then you find somebody to buy that contract, basically that piece of paper. Guys, we are just in the business of flipping paper. Basically that finder's fee. So if I agree to put a property under contract for $100,000, I could sell it for $120,000, make a $20,000 finder's fee or an assignment fee on that one. It is 100% possible, guys. Out of the hundreds of thousands of people that follow, subscribe, and are part of all my groups, every single day I get DMs and checks sent to me and just show that, hey, I learned your stuff for free and I got my first wholesaling deal. If you don't believe me, just go to freewholesaling.com, check on the bottom, guys. There's just so many people sending in checks showing that this business is for real. And most of these guys and gals actually go out here and do it without any money for $0. So $100 is actually a huge luxury. You just gotta know how to spend the money the right way and knowing where to be, and you'll be fine. Really, wholesaling real estate is more about the effort and action you take versus the amount of money you've spent on something. I really equate this to fishing a lot. I know fishermen that have $1 million boats, the nicest fishing tackle and equipment, that actually go out here and never catch a dang thing because they don't know what they're doing. And then I see people that might spend $50, $75 on tackle and just get one lure, and they're the best fishermen in the world and they catch everything. Most of the time, it's not about the money you spend, but it's all about the knowledge you have, the action and the effort, and maybe even some of the experience that you have that'll lead you to your real estate wholesaling success and in your fishing success. But like any business, if you can combine the actual money spending and the experience and effort, that's gonna be the best multiple for your success. So if you want to turn $100 into $100,000 worth of real estate wholesaling assignment fees, we got to understand how marketing works, because marketing is going to be the most important thing. Marketing comes down to having the right list and having the right marketing channel. If you can master both these things, you will become successful. So let's talk about lists first. What are some of the best lists? Now, number one right now, if I had $100, I can tell you straight up, Driving for dollars is probably gonna be the best way to spend $100. That's when you get in your car, you drive around, look for ugly looking houses, and then call these sellers up. I'm telling you, this is probably the best course of action for most people watching this video. Now, if you're doing virtual wholesaling and you really can't do this, yes, we gotta switch things up a little. If you have no money or you're doing virtual wholesaling real estate, I 100% recommend just pulling government lists. Now, government lists are basically a free list you can pull from the government where they're super motivated, they're absolutely for free, and most of your competition, and especially the gurus, don't want you to know this list, and they actually don't even talk about it, which means if you're watching this video, that means you're pulling a list that your gurus aren't talking about, which means your competition's not pulling this government list, which is absolutely gonna be critical for your success. These lists are the code violations, probates, water shutoffs, liens, fire damage properties, the arrest record list, and pre-foreclosures. Now, there's a lot more than that, but I can tell you guys straight up, if you just focus on those government lists, you're gonna be fine. Now, starting out, one of my best plans of action would probably be drawing for dollars and reverse drawing for dollars with that $100. Usually that'll give you about 400, maybe 500 leads if you spend a week doing this, or maybe even a month, but 500 is the goal for $100, and that will usually get us a real estate wholesaling deal, where we can easily make $10, $15, $20,000 on just one real estate wholesaling deal. Maybe even 10, maybe even 5, I don't know. It depends how good you are in the negotiating, but you can definitely get a deal with about 500 drawing for dollars leads. On top of that, if you do reverse drawing for dollars, which you basically put a sticky note in the house when you see the ugly house and say something on the top of the lines of, hey, this is Zach, I had a quick question about your property, please give me a call back. Put down the sticky note, you'll definitely get a lot of calls back. On top of this, if you want to spend $100 a different way, if you're doing virtual wholesaling, the government list that I mentioned, I would probably pull 800 to 1,000 of them and just skip trace them using a service like listrei.com or zackaday.com. Can also get this list absolutely for free at truepeoplesearch.com. Now you have to manually get the phone numbers and manually skip trace it, which is a lot more work. but hey, it's free. My next tactic that I absolutely love are Zillow for sale by owners. You guys see me most Tuesdays on this YouTube channel actually cold call Zillow for sale by owner leads. And really what I do is just, I get leads that have been over 100 days old, preferably with price reductions. I just call these people up and see if they want to sell their house. Now, most of them do want to sell their house. And yes, for most of the time, where a lot of people love the lives, I actually lowball these sellers, and heck, some of these reactions are a little crazy. Sometimes the sellers go nuts on me when I lowball them, and sometimes they're like, yeah, I'll take it. So I can usually in a 2-hour live stream pull 1 to 2 really good deals. Just with my skill set, and very easy for me to do it. These are $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 real estate wholesaling deals. Now I do get really big price reductions. These are $30,000, $40,000, even $50,000 price reductions. My record currently is $95,000 I got 2 weeks ago. These Zillow for sale by owners are just sitting in your city and county waiting for you to attack. If you want to learn how to do it, just go to my free real estate wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com. Now, the next tactic here is just on-market wholesaling or wholesaling on-market MLS properties. Now, this is not for the faint of heart or for beginners, but if you only had $100 and you're a realtor, this may be another tactic. Like the Zillows and the on-market properties, if you're dealing with a quote-unquote listed property, stick to at least 75% off the listing price. So if I'm doing a Zillow for sale by owner, I want to shoot to make sure that my MAO, my max allowable offer, is going to be 70 to 75% of the listing price. So if the property's been listed on the MLS or it's listed for sale by owner for $100,000, I don't want to go above $75,000 on my biggest offer. Next here is actually JVing or joint venturing. This is really a process of me actually finding somebody that doesn't have the strengths that I do, looking for people that actually have strengths where I'm weak at. So for example, if I'm a new wholesaler and I'm really nervous to talk to sellers and I'm not really good at talking to sellers at all, but I'm really good at driving my car and look for ugly looking houses and potential really good leads, I'm gonna find somebody that's really good at closing deals. Maybe I provide leads to them and we agree to split the deal 50-50, or vice versa. I might be really good at closing sellers, but I'm virtually in Guam or something, and I have somebody that's really nervous in Michigan and they don't want to close leads, they just want to get the deals. You can do a joint venture where you can do the deals together, or you can find somebody that's really good at putting properties under contract, but they just can't sell it, and you're really good at finding cash buyers. You can joint venture and find a guy or gal that just can't sell their deal. Make sure you get a 50-50 agreement, and then you find a cash buyer and get the deal 50-50. It's an absolutely amazing way to play to your strengths and get a deal with $0 at all. Now, the next one here is bandit signs, and yes, bandit signs are okay. I got my first $100,000 from bandit signs, and you could probably get 30, 40, even 50 signs for $100. And if you stick them out in really busy areas, there's a really good chance you're gonna get a deal. Now, bandit signs are a little different everywhere. Some markets, they work really well, and some markets, they absolutely tank. So you gotta figure out where bandit signs are gonna be best for you. I've always found just testing it is gonna figure out if it's good or bad for you. Now, these are the strategies when you have no money or even like $100, you can get your first real estate wholesaling deal. The point here is to use that $100 just to get that one deal. And once you get that one deal, $5, $10, $15, even $25,000, then you pour that money into more time efficient marketing strategies. Maybe cold calling with a skip trace list, maybe even using ZachDialer.com, pulling leads now on ListREI.com or ZachData.com, doing some direct mail, texting probates. It really depends on what you want to do. But again, guys, at freewholesaling.com, I kind of show you how to use those type of more advanced strategies and beginner strategies. But really your step now is, now you know you have the knowledge of what to do with that $100. Now we got to figure out what we're going to do. What is our action plan, right? And what I can tell you is the best advice I give to you is create 2 budgets. Create a time budget and create a money budget. Most people are really good at creating money budgets, but they're absolutely terrible at creating time budgets. Now guys, time and money is your most valuable resource. So you can't just only care about the money. You have to care about the time you put into this business. I'd rather take somebody that can put 40 hours a week into wholesaling real estate that only had $100 versus somebody that had $10,000, but they can only put 3 hours a week in this business. The person that can put more action and effort is going to win. So figure out how much money you have and where you're gonna put that money in, and then figure out what your time is and what you're gonna put the time in. So maybe I spend $100 on skip tracing government lists, and I'm gonna spend 2 to 3 hours a day skip tracing and cold calling these lists, and an extra hour on the weekend drawing for dollars or reverse drawing for dollars. The key here is creating a schedule and sticking to it. Once you're able to do that, your success is going to skyrocket. And I promise you, I'm looking at you right now, if you create a schedule, stay consistent, and keep going after it, never surrendering, never quitting, you will become successful and you will get your first real estate wholesaling deal. And guys, again, if you want to get into real estate wholesaling, you should join my free real estate wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com. I have over 50,000 active members learning wholesaling real estate absolutely for free. Get the knowledge up, take the action, and get after it, guys. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe if you got any value from this video. This is Zach Ginn signing out. You can easily turn $100 into $100,000 and scale up your real estate wholesaling business to create the financial freedom of your dreams. You just gotta take action, and you just gotta be willing to do the work, and you'll become successful. Guys, this is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.